Jail is not the paradise, as you know that. I was arrested about 9 o'clock in the morning and then tortured to 1 in the morning of the next day. I thought that was it. That was my life.
I was isolated for 4 years without being able to meet or talk to even any other prisoners.
Then the man appear in the state security car, grab his 45, and tell, I'm going to kill you.
在6月4号的时候，我一直在天安门广场。我在离开广场的途中，被解放军的坦克袭击，被坦克从我的身后向我们追杀过来，最后压去了我的双腿。
Time after time, observers have questioned whether this country or that people or this group are ready for democracy. As if freedom were a prize you win for meeting our own Western standards of progress. In fact, the daily work of democracy itself is the path of progress.
Striking thing about human rights policy in the Bush administration was how much of it was President Bush. It was not a bureaucratic product. The president personally met with dozens and dozens of human rights activists, and he didn't do it because, we sent up memos saying, you should do this. He wanted to do it.
There were some extraordinary moments during the Bush administration when President Bush met personally with dissidents, when he invited Kang Chol-won to the Oval Office, or when he went to Governor's Island in New York and met with a number of the leading dissidents of the world. And so we wanted ordinary Americans to have the experience that President Bush had, to see the incredible courage and conviction of these individuals.
Everybody understood the president would have a presidential library. The question was, what's special about it? What does the president really want to put his time into? What did he really care about? So rather than just having a book collection, let's have a collection that's more of a living collection of all the people who, in this century, were the leaders of the fight for democracy and human rights, so that they're there in the flesh forever.
The idea behind the Freedom Collection is to document through video interviews, but also with other kinds of documents and artifacts, the individual stories of democracy, pro-democracy leaders and pro-democracy movements from countries around the world that don't have free and democratic governments.
It provides those individuals who put their own lives on the line for the furtherance of democracy and freedom an opportunity to share that experience firsthand. And it reflects on lessons learned. What worked, what didn't work.
We have to understand this at the human level, or we will not understand it at all. It is not a story about, or only about, let's say, great social movements. It's a story about people who decided to risk everything.
I believe that the dictator cannot silence any dissenting voice. They can oppress them, but they cannot silence them.
Nobody really can silence us because the technology and time is in our side.
The world belongs to nearly 7 billion human beings, not kings or religious leaders like that, or different parties.
It is very difficult, but don't give up, and one day our situation will change.
You have to realize that the price of silence is much heavier. It may not be perceptible, but it's always much heavier than the price of speaking out.
And sometimes the difficulties you face are themselves character building and courage enhancing. So when I went to prison, I came out stronger.
Every day, every year, we are one step closer to democracy.
No decaigan, no pierdan la fe, sigan luchando, que el éxito se acerca y muy pronto el mundo entero será un mundo de regímenes democráticos y terminarán para siempre las dictaduras.
America in this young century proclaims liberty throughout all the world and to all the inhabitants thereof. Renewed in our strength, tested but not weary,
we are ready for the greatest achievements in the history of freedom.